War is very gruesome, and you see and do things it's hard to fathom that you've done and you've seen. I spent 8 or 9 years being gone about 300 days a year. It takes a toll mentally, physically, emotionally, and not just on us, but our families. Because they can see it on your face when you come home that you've been through it, you've seen it.
Both grandfathers served in the military. My uncle served in the military. There's some regret that I didn't make that choice. There's 45,000 roughly nonprofits that serve veterans in the country, and we're one of a very few that serves active duty guys. Within that, we serve the special operations community.
I got blown up by a couple grenades in 2013, and then in January 2017, I took a round across the bridge of my nose. I was told after I got back on status that I was no longer fit to be a pararescueman in the Air Force. I was going to medically retire after 16 years. Went into a pretty deep depression. I was at the point that I didn't want to be here anymore. A friend of mine had recommended I come to this Big Sky Bravery, and to say the least, this program saved my life. So I came back the next year as a volunteer. If I could just change one other guy or impact one other guy's life that was going through a struggle like I was, it means the world to me.
Of the over 120 volunteers that Big Sky Bravery has, roughly 90 to 92% are solely civilians. They've had no prior military service. Allows the volunteers to give back to a community that they never were a part of. For the recipients, it's a way for them to see that people are out there that still care about them. A Big Sky Bravery task force is just under 1 week long. The volunteers are anywhere from 3 to 4, and they're with the upwards of 5 recipients that we bring out. We offer both summer and winter programming. With my past experiences, it provides me a unique opportunity to fill a role and be a conduit between the units that we give back to. I spent 20 years in the military, 18 of which were in the 75th Ranger Regiment. And during that time, I deployed 18 times to combat zones. The deployments they melded into each other to a degree, and then it ended up becoming numbing.
Every time he came back home, I could see another piece of him gone. I went back to New York, where I was working and living at the time, and spent the next 2 or 3 weeks Googling charities that I could donate to in hopes that maybe he would get a spot somewhere. And the only thing that I could find was a reactive resource, meaning that you had to be a veteran. I kind of put pen to paper at one point, came up with a foundation for active duty warfighters like himself, especially those in special operations. He said, if you can pull this off, it will change the hearts and the tide for the special operations community. It's better to hit problems head on than to wait, and that's exactly what we do here at Big Sky Bravery. We're a proactive resource. Since inception, we've expanded our programs to a few different other models, which are active duty female SOF, spouses of recipients that have come through, families of individuals who have come out for our programs, and an expansive alumni network and resource for them after they come through.
Being a wife of a SOF member is anything but normal. I knew that was my husband's calling, and there was nothing that I wouldn't have done to support him through it. At the same time, it takes a toll on the spouse, on the children, on the marriage, on the family unit as a whole. So for me, and a lot of the women I've talked to, it was a life of pretending like you are okay when you are anything but. Big Sky Bravery for me has been a way to turn my pain into purpose. The purpose of a spouse task force is to say, look, like, we are so grateful for what your husbands do and have done, but this isn't about them, it's about you. So we like to pull them out of the shadows that they often live in. They live a life of service to others, sacrificing so many things for the betterment of their husbands or their children. It's just about a community that's not judgmental, that uplifts these women, that reignites passion and purpose in them that they maybe have lost or has become dim along the way.
Having Big Sky Bravery available to create an environment for growth and connection and unique activity opportunities together is very important. The purpose of the Family and Alumni Task Forces is the alumni are going to be recipients that have gone through an active program, and that's the lifelong commitment that Big Sky Bravery has to them. They can reach out at any time. We make all the arrangements to get them back out to Big Sky. And then for the family task forces, that is whenever both parents have gone through a task force, and then we get to extend that opportunity to enjoy Big Sky to their entire family. From the time they get on a plane until they get off the plane back home, we have everything 100% covered for them.
So our first task force was in March of 2016. It's now August of 2024. 8 years later, we have brought in over 570 special operations members. In the next 6 years, we anticipate that number to be over 1,000.
We have a recipe. There's some ingredients that go in the recipe. Montana is the biggest one. So just trying to give them a space to relax and get that breath of fresh air.
Being out in this country makes you realize what you've fought for. And being able to like push yourself physically just kind of opens you up emotionally. You come out here and you feel free.
What brought me out here is dealing with the death of a good friend and teammate in a training accident. Everybody's dealing with something, and the circle talks that we have at night, realizing that there are solutions to our problems. We just have to be vulnerable enough to talk about them.
Being in Montana, the people here, like everybody, it's like this is my family. I felt like I was coming home.
There's nothing professional here in regards to guidance counselors, but it's working through different guys and units and their problems and their life experiences. Coming out, I'm gonna have a brotherhood that I didn't even know existed, that care about me. It's just given us a chance to recover.
I feel as though I've led a very blessed life. And the way that it's helped shape and mold me to where I am now and what I can provide for BSB, it's come full circle. I genuinely believe that if we did not have people out there serving our country and fighting for those freedoms, that we'd all be leading very different lives. It's made a huge impact on my life. Just blessed for the opportunity to give back in some way that I can.
I never thought I'd be able to top my first program, and as I keep coming back as a volunteer, they just keep getting better and better. I come back and my wife sees the smile on my face. She can just tell like I've come and reset. I hope this program continues forever, because every time I come back a better man.